Your lunchtime just got a lot tastier, juicier, and sexier. Join Wofai on Crunch, the hottest lunchtime entertainment show in Africa.
I love Crunch.
I love Crunch.
I'm on Crunch.
I love Crunch.
Crunch, weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. only on Nigezie, extremely Nigerian.
Nice to have you join me on the show. It's still Crunch. You know how we did on Crunch. Right about now, Y to the E to the MIBLAQ is on the program, Yemi Blaq, and we're tuning out right here at this prestigious edifice, Sheraton Hotels. Thanks to Sheraton Hotels for putting this together. Yemi Blaq is on the program right now. Yemi, it's nice to have you on the program.
Same thing here for
welcome to. You actually kept me waiting for a long time. I have to confess.
I'm so sorry. You know how it is in Lagos, and you can't do a dash in and dash out. Traffic,
the hustles
law
and bustles and
enforcement,
everything.
and little unforeseen circumstances. You know.
Okay, now Yemi, away from your passion, your sojourn into the movie industry, has it been? Because I think you've delved away from being a normal Nollywood actor. When I say normal Nollywood actor, like being in front of the cameras to playing scenes behind the cameras. You're now a producer and an actor. I mean, how were you able to intertwine that?
Well, basically for me, it's all the same. It's the same family. You know what I mean? You want to make
the same family but different ballgames.
Yeah, but basically, it's like okay, you know, I love to eat. Let's say I love to eat ofowore. You know what I mean? Which is a soup that's popular with the Igbo people from Owerri.
Okay.
And
are you Igbo?
No, I'm not actually. I'm from Ondo State, Ondo Town.
Okay.
But to make ofowore, you have to put stockfish, and you have to put shaki and pomo and all the rest of the things. You know what I mean? It's all the same thing. So sometimes you choose to be shaki, and sometimes you choose to be the leaf in it, and sometimes you choose to be the Maggi that went into it. But when it comes together, it's the same thing. So for me, acting and producing are not so far apart, because it gets to a certain stage where there's not so many challenges because you've been there, done that, and you're thinking to yourself, how do I push the envelope, or how do I totally just raise the bar? And the only way to do that is to involve yourself in your own production in such a way as to be able to show people, say, okay, look, so far I've done this, but we can actually go beyond it. And the only way to be able to do that and showcase your creativity in another way would be probably to produce or to direct. Directing is something that we're going to go into at some other point, but I don't believe that it takes just talent. I think that skill is involved in everything that you do. I'm an actor, I'm a trained thespian, and so for me it's important that if I'm going to be a director as well, I would have to get some formal training. So at some time in the future, I will get some formal training, and also try to convince people that a human being is not always unifaceted, it can be multifaceted, and that I would call myself.
Okay, Yemi, you were one of the frontliners for Celebrity Takes Two. That was a long time ago, not too long though, but some years back. Now, dancing, how would you interpret yourself when it comes to dancing? Are you a conventional dancer? Are you a professional dancer? Are you a good dancer, or you just danced for the cameras because you were taking part in Celebrity Takes Two?
Well, basically two answers to that. First of all, I'm not one of the frontliners. I'm the winner of the competition. So hey, what can you say? And secondly, I'm not exactly a conventional dancer. I'm just a fast learner. I'm one of those people that I got the gift from my father. So if you put me through the paces, wherever it is in life, most things I catch up really quickly. So that's what I did. I applied myself to it, because initially I didn't even want to join the competition when I told me I was shooting here.
Wow.
I was shooting in Asaba at the time, and had quite a number of jobs lined up. So they spoke to me about it, but the incentives were there, and I thought, oh, why not? I mean, let's do something challenging, you know. So I went in for it, and the lineup was quite impressive, you know, with Stella and FaZe and the rest of the people that were in at the time. But one thing that I always do when I dedicate myself to something, I give 180% at least, you know. So I went into it totally with all of my heart, and I learned, and I got the support of the people as well, because at the end of the day, it came down to the votes, and they voted en masse for me. So what can I say?
Beautiful. Okay, we're taking a break shortly. Right about now, we are still tuning with Yemi Blaq on Crunch. Don't forget the program is Crunch on Nigezie, and my name is Wofai. We'll take a break right now for a drink. We'll be right back and go away. Okay, what more can we say? This is Crunch, where you get different celebrities entertained in the way you like to see them entertained on the program. Yeah, they just sit down in a very relaxed interview situation, replete with glitz, glamour, suspense, I would say, fun. Yeah, for today we're hosting Yemi Blaq, one of the frontiers of Nollywood, someone who's actually done so much in regards Nollywood. Away from the norm, Yemi Blaq is outstanding. His interpretation of scripts when it comes to the movies, I mean, awesome, off the hook. But right about now, we have a drink here, so toast to Yemi.
A toast to more beautiful movies and the success of this program. In the next 5 years, we'll have you doing something bigger.
One of the biggest things on TV, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
To that.
Okay, but I want to ask you, Yemi, what do you like about the program Crunch? This is the very first time you're coming on Crunch on Nigeria, so what do you like about it?
I've been on many interviews, and unfortunately, most presenters seem to come from the same mold. They ask the same questions in the same tone of voice, in the same environment. And after a while, you can actually be at an interview without being there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
You can actually just be away thinking about something else and answering the questions, because you know the next question. You know what they're going to ask. So, how did you get into acting? So tell us a bit about your family.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? So it gets to a point where you're thinking, oh, come on, ask me something different. Because you know how there's a good mind is not supposed to be out of use. So I like to be on the spot. I like to be on my toes. And so being here so far has been a good example of that, you know, because questions are coming from unexpected angles, and I like that. Yeah, because you know, the reflection of life. Let's have some beauty. When light goes through that spectrum, it breaks away, becomes different colors.
Yeah, my head is swelling, like almost busting. Thanks for the compliment.
But it's the truth, darling. It's the truth.
Okay, beautiful. Back to what we're talking about. We're talking about Yemi Blaq, the entertainer and the actor. Now, if you're looking at Nollywood, what would you say? If you're looking at Nollywood, in comparison to Nollywood, like way back, Nollywood in present, are there some similarities? Is there a contrast? If you were to compare and contrast, what would your comparison and contrast be?
Well, basically, it's a large contrast.
The evolution of Nollywood.
Yeah, it's really growing so fast. First of all, it's kudos to us that the world is embracing digital technology in movie making at the moment, because Nollywood's really pioneered that. You know, people just realize that you don't have to spend all that money on celluloid. You can actually do it on digital. And at the moment, it's grown away from subsistence movie making. Because way back, it used to be totally subsistent. Someone spends a few $100,000 to make a movie. They make a few $100,000 naira profit, and it's good to go. They can do a quick turnover. But this day, people are beginning to realize that it's big business. After oil, it's entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment.
You know what I mean? So basically, that's where it's at. People are beginning to realize that. People are beginning to invest a lot more. Investors are beginning to believe in it because, I mean, think about it. I was in a movie some time ago. It's not out yet. Shot by Stephen Corkers. The budget of the movie, way back, I think 4 years ago, was almost 70 or 80 million.
70 or 80 million? That's a lot of money.
Director, this Mahmoud Balogun, Tango With Me was shot with about 80 million.
80 million?
Yeah, with Joseph Benjamin and Genevieve. It was about 80 million. So that's it. People are beginning to invest more. I hear that Kule is shooting, Kule Afolayan is shooting at the moment. And his budget's about 120 million. And so people realize it. They're
beginning to see entertainment as a serious business.
There's a movie project that my wife and I are embarking on, because we run a production company together, Applause Entertainment. And what we're doing is we're trying to be able to start off a sudden production that is all the way out, and proposed budget's about 300 to 350 million. And investors are beginning to believe that if you spend that much money on a movie, you can actually get it back. Let's come on, for crying out loud. People spend $200 million on a movie. And people have been making, what's the title of that movie that made $1 billion at the box office just recently? $1 billion for one movie. That is 160 billion naira made from one movie. Think about it. And we can do it. We have the figures, we have the numbers. Unfortunately, what we don't have yet is an infrastructure. But it's coming up. People are beginning to build cinemas. Very soon, some independent cinemas
People are beginning to premium movies as well.
You know what I mean? Independent cinemas are going to sprout up. It's going to be able to reach the grassroots, and that's the most important, because that's where the money is. Think about it. That's where the money is. So basically, that's where we are.
Okay. Now, Yemi, if you're looking at the cinema culture in Nigeria, it's evolving. More and more people are beginning to go to the cinema to see movies. Gone are those days where you sit down and say, Nigerians are laid back. We just do the home video thing. Yeah, the actors still do the home video, but everyone kind of is delving into the cinema culture. Now, do you think that in this, let's say in subsequent years, like in 5-10 years from now, the cinema culture in Nigeria would be what we expect it to be.
Exactly. Actually, we're not even. We're not creating a cinema culture. We're reviving a cinema culture.
We had a cinema culture sometime.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Was it ever in existence?
Oh yes, it was. It was
Really?
very strong.
Are you
in the days
serious?
of Oladipo, in the days of Ogunde, in the days of Adelov and Police Father, we had strong cinema. Babasala, short Abajibolato, with almost 2 million in the early 80s, I think. Yeah, 2 million naira expended on a movie project in 1980 something. Think about it. Think about the rate of inflation and everything. But because way back in the day, they used to take the movies straight to cinema. In fact, at the time, there was no home video. If you had the way back then, there was Betamax in the homes, and only the rich people could afford to have the Betamax system before we went to VHS. Even when VHS came out, it was only the rich people who could afford it. You know what I mean? So people would go on Sundays, take the family out to the cinema, where they would see movies. Cholet and the rest of them, all those Indian films, showed on cinema all around.
Okay, now there's this question I always ask every celebrity that comes on my program. The last time I had a chat with Genevieve Naji, of course, Popular Demand, there's a question I asked her, and she said, being a celebrity is not a job. I'm going to quote what she said. It's not a job. It's not just an occupation. You had better have a talent. And if you don't have a talent, go get yourself one. Believe in yourself. Whatever it is you're doing, and blah, 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 blah. But the bottom line of everything she's trying to say is being a celebrity is not a job. I don't know if you get my point. It's not an occupation, and there's a big point in that. Now, what do you have to say to people who get into entertainment, not just for the passion, but for the fame and for the money? I want to be on TV so people would see me and clap their hands, the accolades, hey, Wofai's on TV, not just for the passion. What's your message to such
people? For Nigeria at the moment, it's not working. It works abroad, actually. It does work abroad because I'm not going to mention names as well, but I do believe that there are a couple of TV shows out there where the people on the shows have become celebrities the world over. Nigerians are ooh and ah over them, bring them here. Spend so much money on them, but they have no discernible talent of any sort, you know. But what they have is a team that creates a certain mystique and a certain thing around them. You know what I mean? Yeah. But in Nigeria, you need to. The team thing is not working quite yet. So
we're not team players.
We are team players, but I mean that it takes a lot for someone to gather a team and say, okay, you know what, make me into a media personality or make me into a celebrity of some sort. So here, you really need to understand that if you're going into, people ask me all the time, they call me up. I get a couple of people call me and say, Yemi Blaq, please, how do I become a celebrity? And I tell them I'm the wrong person to talk to, because I don't believe in celebrity. I believe in the fact that you take your job seriously. Doing your job well makes you whatever it is that you like to be, a celebrity, a star, whatever it is. But I don't know anything about being, how do I be a star? I know if you want to ask me about how to be an actor or a good actor, I can tell you. But how to be a star, I have no idea at all. So I think the most important thing is identify your talent, apply yourself to it, and make sure that you follow through. When people start appreciating you for it, you become whatever it is that comes after that.
Wow.
But the thing is, don't lose focus. The most important thing is what got you there. So you always need to stay true to the nucleus. That's the atom of it.
The last question, Yemi, who are your favorite celebrities when it comes to music? Who are your best 5 Nigerian musicians?
Are we talking
from
about
all genres, different genres?
All genres.
Any of the genres?
Existing or?
Existing, yeah.
Today.
Existing, yeah. Today.
I would say
five
King Sunny Ade, first of all.
Okay.
I would say Two-Face Dibia, of course. Asha, right there, of course. Comfort Omoge, of course. And the new ones. Wizkid is doing a good job. He will evolve, because so far the lyrics are a bit, but over time he will. Oh, I know. Please, that's fine. But I have to mention Sam Sultan. I love that guy.
Sam Sultan, really?
His lyrics are too deaf.
A bit comic, I'd say.
But I love him. All the songs are on point. Lyrically, they're always on point.
Amazing.
There's a message in there. There's a message. If you listen to it, good wordplay, good messages.
Yeah, he just talks about the realities of life in a very unserious kind of atmosphere.
So that's 6 I mentioned, but hey, I can sneak one in.
Beautiful. It's been so wonderful having Yemi on the program. Yeah. It's been pretty exciting. I wish we could go on and on, but hey, this is Sheraton, and of course we've actually disrupted them from doing a couple of things. But not to worry, we're taking our leave now, and definitely we'll be back on Crunch on the same time with another edition. Okay, the program is Crunch on Nigeria, and right about now we're saying our goodbyes on the segment. Stay tuned to the next segment on the program. Don't go away. My name is W to the O to the FAI. You know how it is. Wofai Samuel, yours faithfully, signing out of this segment. See you. Ta-da.
Yeah. Lunchtime just got a lot tastier, juicier, and sexier. Join Wofai on Crunch, the hottest lunchtime entertainment show in Africa.
I love Crunch.
I love Crunch.
I'm on Crunch.
I love Crunch.
Crunch, weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. only on Nigezie, extremely Nigerian.